Hey everybody, what's going on? Speedy Diver here, and in today's video, I'm going to be taking apart and also cleaning this NES that I ended up finding GameStop dumpster diving. So what you guys can expect in this video is a whole teardown, well not a whole teardown, but I'm going to be tearing down most of this whole NES and seeing what's inside. I'm going to be honest, I've never taken one of these apart. I really don't even know how to, so I'm going to be going step by step of what I know. I know there's 6 screws on the back I have to take out, and that's basically it. I don't know what it looks like inside, and it's going to be a journey. It's going to be interesting. Now with this console, there are a couple things that obviously need to be fixed, like this. Yeah, it's super squeaky. I hate that. It annoys me so much. Also a little dirty. I'll be cleaning that. I also want to see if there's a lot of dust inside, because this console is like super duper old. It's from 1985. It says it on the back. It literally says Nintendo 1985. This thing is old. I don't want to make anybody feel old by me saying the console's old, but to me, this is pretty old. I don't know much about NESs. I didn't actually grow up with this console, so I don't know too much about it, but it's still really cool. It also works, by the way, so that's why I'm really excited to actually open this up and see what's inside. So before we do get inside, though, what I do want to say is I want to say thank you guys. Anybody who actually saw the video of me testing this out and seeing if it actually worked, a lot of you said that you have to take the game out and put the games in when the console is off. I didn't know that. I'm still new to NES. I don't know much about it, like I said in the beginning of that video. So everyone who let me know to shut the console off before and after you put the game in, thank you guys so much. Knowledge is key with anything, and I didn't know much about the console. Now I'm starting to gain a little bit of knowledge about it, and I just love you guys so much for that. You guys really helped me understand things that I didn't know. So without further ado, let's open this bad boy up. Yeah! So personally, I really don't think there's going to be a lot inside of here. I've never really seen the inside. I've seen like pictures here and there, like throughout the years of what the inside looks like, but I don't know much about it. And with that being said, it's super light NESs, and I just don't think there's going to be much internals. So altogether, there's actually going to be 6 Phillips head screws. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, you really can't see it right there, 4, 5, and 6. And this should be pretty dang easy, so let's get started. So now all the screws are actually, they're still sitting inside of here because I don't want to lose them. They didn't, this isn't like a magnetic screwdriver, so it doesn't actually take the screws out with it. Some of them do, but this one doesn't, sadly. I probably have one somewhere, but I don't know. It's the first screwdriver I could find. So without further ado, let's see if this just opens. I think actually, you know what? I'm actually going to tip it this way, let the screws fall out, because I don't want to lose any. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's number 6? Where'd it go? Did I already lose a screw? No! The screw's still in there. It just never came out. Okay, so there's 6. I don't want to lose them. They look like they're all the same size, which is fine. Maybe I just didn't unscrew this one all the way. Let's get that out. There we go. Pop goes the weasel. Now this, I think, comes off. Nothing attached. Nothing is attached. There we go. Nice. Wow, this is actually looking so clean. Wow. Like, this literally was made in 1985, and I do not even see an ounce of dust inside. I found this in the dumpster, and it literally looks flawless inside. What? I seriously thought there was gonna be chunks of dust all over the place. Like, look how clean. It still has a shine to it. That is insane. What? I'm in shock right now. I'm just thinking how old it is. I mean, I do see dust, don't get me wrong. There's a little bit of dust in that corner, but like, 1985. I'm gonna assume whoever had this before I ended up finding it in the dumpster, they must have cleaned it out, and they must have taken really good care of it. I don't know. Like, this is nuts. So this is the top of the NES itself, and this has the door on it, the squeaky door. So what I'm going to do at the end of the video is I'm actually going to clean this all up. I'm also going to probably spray some lubricant in there and make it very non-squeaky because it's so squeaky. And the inside looks super clean though. I'm not even going to clean it, maybe brush it off with a paper towel, but that's about it. So definitely looking really sweet. So if I'm not mistaken, what actually comes off next is going to be this metal shield on top. Now I still want to take it off even though it looks really clean inside. I just want to see what the NES is actually made of. Like, I really don't know, and I think it's super cool to see what things are made out of and see how it's put together. So I believe now it's going to be 2 screws over there, 2 on the tippy top, and I think there's going to be a couple, like maybe these 3 or maybe just these 2 on the side. I'm not too sure at the moment, but I'm going to figure it out. So now this one is actually the last screw, I believe. So this, I think, just comes right off. Am I wrong? Oh, I think there's actually still something attached somewhere. I'm not too sure. Oh no, the metal is actually stuck under this. So I think you have to take it off and slide it forward. I don't want to break anything, so I'm being super careful. This is from 1985. There we go. Okay, I'm being nice and careful. There we go. Okay, so that is, like, look how clean that is. Like, it looks like it just came out of the factory. That is immaculate. That is insane. Wow, look how clean it is. This is so mind-blowing. I am freaking out, though. Like, this still has a shine to it. This is seriously awesome. This is so... I would have never expected it would look like this. I know I keep saying that, but, like, you can see, obviously, like, over here, there's, like, some spots that are cleaner than others, but from 1985, I can't stress that enough. That is so cool. Wow, I don't even know where to go, like, where to go next. I would assume you probably have to take the... I think it's, like, this, plastic like casing, like where you slide the game into. I think you take this off next. I'm not going to be taking off any of like the switches or anything, or the plugs I should say, for the controllers. I'm not going to be taking off the power button or anything. I'm not getting that in depth with it because I can kind of see everything, but I kind of want to get a little bit deeper in here and see what it's all about. So now with a closer inspection, I think what I'm taking off is still going to be the black piece that you put the game into. I guess, I don't know what it's called, like I'm not too sure exactly what it's called, I'm going to be honest. But with that being said though, I think the screws that actually come out is going to be one right here, which is still Phillips head. They're all Phillips head basically, which is nice. And I believe it's going to be that one in that corner too. So one on each corner. And the reason I can tell is because you see how there's like these pieces right there? There's pieces like this below under here I could actually see that looks like it holds it in the actual casing. So it's not actually attached to the circuit board, it's kind of attached to the casing, which is pretty cool, or the case itself. Okay, so I was actually wrong. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I'm completely honest with this. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I had to take out all of the screws around it, which kind of makes sense. I just didn't see them actually connecting to anything. So I just kind of assumed it would just be the two. So this is still a learning curve for me because I don't know everything about NESs. I don't know much about them, to be honest. And I actually had to take out all the screws. I thought it was just gonna be the two. And it ended up being all of them. And I think now it is loose enough to take out. Now I don't even know how you take this out. I guess you slide it?
2 hours later.
So I'm kind of messing around with this a little bit, and I think I was actually able to slide it out a little bit, and I think you can slide it over the case itself, and it should come right out. It does. And the actual, like, I think it's like a 72 pin connector right here. I believe this just stays there. I don't think it actually comes out. I'm not too sure, to be honest, but you know, I think it just stays there. Now, one thing I have heard with NES is that usually this part of the NES goes bad. Now, luckily with this NES, everything seemed to work completely fine. Like, I was able to play all the games I ended up finding with the NES as well. The controllers worked. Everything worked fine. So I'm not going to mess with anything. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to keep it all the same. But just look how cool it is. Just looking in there and seeing what it's all about, like how an NES is made. That is so cool. Look at the circuit board. Like, this is 1985 technology. Like, that is so cool. I've always had a huge interest in seeing how things were actually made, and I just think it's so cool. It is just so different. So now that this is out, we can actually see, that's the mechanism right there that actually makes this go up and down. Like, how does this work? Oh, it's got a little, oh, it has a little pin inside. Okay, a little pin in there, that when you press it, it goes through a little plastic track. It goes around and it gets stuck right in there in a little like slot. And then when you press it again, it gets out of the slot and it goes right back down into place. See, this is why I love learning about things that I've never knew about before, because now I know how the NES cartridge, like slot thingamajiggy, like the, I don't even know what it's called, but how it works now. I always say that knowledge is key, and it's so true, because there's stuff like this, like knowing how that works, that could help me in the future somehow. I don't know how yet, but it might. I might run into another thing in the future, another like console maybe, and I'll be like, oh, now I know how that works. Like, that is so cool. So far, these are all of the actual parts that are inside of an NES. Now, there's still more I actually have to get into, which is mainly, I think, just the circuit board right here, and I think that's actually going to wrap it up. But I definitely still want to clean that, so I'm going to be doing that very, very soon and shortly. As of right now, there's not too many parts inside of an NES. Like, there's really not a lot compared to an Xbox 360 or a PS3 or even an Xbox One or PS4. There's really not a lot of components. So right now I'm up to the step where basically I think there's just this one screw right back here that I have to take out, and I think the circuit board should come out. Now, it's not going to come out all the way because obviously there's a bunch of cables all around here connected to the actual circuit board. I can't get this screw out. Come on, screw. There we go. And what's really nice is mainly all the screws in here are about the same size. There's only 2 of these ones that are silver, and they make them silver. The other ones are like a different kind of color, as you can tell. So these ones are a little bit longer and probably a different thread count and whatnot. But the only different screws are these ones. All the other ones are literally the same, so you can't mess it up putting it back together. There is actually one more screw that I just noticed right down there. And now I think this is actually going to be it. I hope this is the last screw. That means we are one step closer to actually taking it out. There we go. I don't want to touch anything that I shouldn't be touching. See, you can tell I'm touching the metal on the side, not the circuit board itself. I mean, it's not, you can touch it, but not the best idea. So I'm trying to touch things like this metal bracket over here to actually hold it. I think this is actually like a heat sink or something, or it could be a bracket actually. I'm not too sure, to be honest, but back here, oh, even the back, you can see it's just all shiny, and this is the inside of an NES. There's nothing left. You can see all the points where all the screws go in. Really, really unique. It's so different. Also, one thing to mention is if you actually go to the bottom of the NES, there's a little slot right here. And there's a little thing on the bottom of the actual casing of the NES where I think you can pop it out right here. I'm not 100% sure what this is actually for, but I have heard that you can actually use this. I think there's like accessories that can actually get plugged into this. I may be wrong. I'm not 100%. I really do not know much about NESs, but definitely interesting. There's an extra slot right here. You can actually put something in it. That is just so cool. Like, you would have never known that if you didn't open it up or if you just never did any research about the console. This is the cleanest console I have ever seen. And I am being 100% with you guys. And it's from 1985. That is astonishing. Oh my gosh. It's just so mind-blowing. So I'm just going to wrap this back up together, and then we're going to get to cleaning the actual NES. Like, even this doesn't even need to be cleaned. I thought this would have to be cleaned or something. Just nothing inside needs to be cleaned. So now that the actual NES is all put back together, I want to say one quick thing which I think is hilarious, which really stinks actually, but I ended up putting the whole NES back together, and I ended up forgetting to put one screw inside. I found the screw, it was like all the way over here, and I'm like, no! So I had to take this thing, literally I had to take the whole thing back apart, and I had to put the screw that was over there back in here. It was just one of the screws that actually held in the little cartridge tray, so it wasn't too hard to get to, it didn't take too much time. I just thought it was a story worth telling. Now that this is actually all put back together, what I'm going to do very quickly is just give it a light cleaning. It's really not too dirty. So I just have some Windex right here, and I also have some paper towel, and I'm just going to lightly clean it. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to take the paper towel and I'm actually going to spray the Windex on the paper towel itself, not the actual console, because I don't want anything going into the vents and I don't want anything going into any of the electronic plugs, anything like that. So just going to spray it on here and lightly give a nice clean. So as you can see, the cleaning method is super duper easy. Anybody can do it, and it's very effective. Like, it's super duper clean now. As you can see, it was super gross up here, even a little gross up here. It does have a little couple spots here and there that are still dirty. I have to clean it up a little bit more, but it's pretty dang close to being perfect. Like, it looks very, very clean. I didn't clean the bottom of it because didn't really need to do that, but just had the paper towel with the Windex on it, cleaned it up real quick, and also had a dry paper towel that I would wipe it down with so that the residue of the Windex doesn't stay on here and stuff, so that it's nice and dry and it's perfectly clean. I also actually just lubricated these little plastic hinges. Like, they're not really hinges, but they're little plastic, like, grooves, I guess, that are really, really dry, and they weren't lubricated at all because they're not meant to be, but I ended up putting a little tiny dab of lubrication down there, so as you guys can hear now, no squeak. No squeak at all. It's perfect. You don't even see the lubrication because I put such a tiny amount that it won't harm the plastic. It's not going to harm any electronic components. It is 100% good, and it's perfect now. The door stays up nice, and it closes nice. No squeakiness. Oh, I love it. Now, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you really enjoyed this kind of video, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure we can get at least 3,000 likes on this video because I truly love making different videos like this. They're very unique to my channel. Now, if you guys are interested, I'll be leaving the video over here where I actually tested out the NES that I ended up finding GameStop dumpster diving, that it actually ended up working, but make sure you guys check that out. I'll leave the video over here where I found this GameStop dumpster diving, and I'll also leave the link down here with a little bubble thingamajiggy so you guys can subscribe to the Speedy Gamer, my gaming channel, and subscribe to the Speedy Diver. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly mean it when I say it. I love making videos like this and showing the world basically what can be saved from being thrown out, and also how to fix things and take things apart. I just love doing it. Thanks for watching again, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.